Listening and lectures. It's only through listening that you learn, and I never want to stop learning. That's a quote by Drew Barrymore. Up to this point, you mostly have been told that when you are listening to someone, you should give that person your full attention and not doodle or fiddle with pen and paper. While that is true for the most part, it is also true that you will have times when you need to have your pen in your hand and be writing for whatever reason. Not only is that acceptable, but it usually is encouraged and can enhance the benefit you get out of what you are listening to. Getting the most out. Whether you are a college student who regularly has to listen to lectures or a business person who attends seminars and meetings, being able to take good notes is important. Not only will it help you get the most out of what you are listening to, but it will help you clarify things later and refresh your memory regarding what was said. Some people, depending upon learning style, are not audio learners. What that means is that they do not always learn the best way by just listening to something. Those people often can benefit from writing some of the key facts about what is being said. To get the most out of lectures or other such listening events, you may want to consider taking notes. While it is not required in most cases, it is good to know how to take good notes in the event you need to take them. Even if you are not required to take them, it still may be a good idea to do so. Top reasons to take notes. 1. Taking good notes will help you make more sense out of what you are listening to. 2. Having a record of what was said will be helpful for reviewing later as needed. 3. You may be listening to some unique information that you will want to remember later. 4. The main facts and points that the speaker is making will be revealed in your organized notes. Note-taking skills. The most important factor in being able to take good notes is being a good listener. You already have learned so much about what it means to be a good listener and how to do it. If you are a good listener, you will be able to pick out those important things that are worthy of writing down in your notes. What you do not want to do is try to write down everything that the person says. By doing this, you likely will not take in as much as you should because your focus will be on getting all the words written down and not actually paying attention to what the person is saying. Good note-taking skills are learned. If you have not been good at taking notes in the past, don't worry. You can change this by learning what good note-taking looks like and then practicing it until it becomes a habit. Keep these tips in mind when it comes to taking good notes. Be prepared. It is hard to take notes if you walk in unprepared. If you are going to be listening to a lecture, seminar, or meetings, always take paper and a pen with you. That way you are prepared if you decide you want to take notes. Listen up. This is the time to put into use all the good listening skills that you have been learning. It is important to be open-minded, engage in active listening, have good body language, etc. Develop a style. Try different note-taking styles until you find one that works well for you and then stick with it. You will want to think about such things as leaving some blank lines so you can go back and write in additional notes if you need to, abbreviating words, etc. You will also want to write brief lines rather than trying to write out every word in a sentence. You may want to highlight or circle important information that you will want to quickly find later. Do not take the time to erase anything if you make a mistake. Just draw a line through it. Find facts. When it comes to taking notes, you want to listen for the facts or main points that are being said. Write those down in a brief format rather than trying to write down everything or full definitions. More than anything else, it is important to make sure that you get the main points written down. Also, write down anything that the person is repeating, writes on a whiteboard or overhead, or if there are any examples provided that may be helpful later. Write down any words mentioned that you are unsure of. Summarize. Your goal in taking notes is to summarize what you are listening to and how you are interpreting the information. Rather than simply try to write down word for word what the speaker is saying, summarize what you are getting out of what you are listening to. It will make more sense to you later and help you make more sense of it at the time. Clarify. If you end up having questions or need clarification on any of the points that the speaker made, Be sure to ask for clarification when the time is appropriate. If you leave not understanding something, it is doubtful that it will become clear on your own once you leave. Review. Within a day or so, review the notes you took. That will help refresh everything that you learned and give you a chance to make additions or changes as needed. This is the time to also look up the definitions to any words you wrote down that you were not sure of. Organize. Your notes should always be organized. If you are taking a class, put all your notes in a 3-ring binder to keep them together. If the notes are for work purposes, keep them in a binder or file for future reference. Keeping these tips in mind and following the listening skills you have been learning, you should have no problem getting the most out of any lecture, seminar, or meeting.